So 5 weeks ago, I came out of ACL reconstructive surgery and meniscal repair, and I wondered if I'd ever get back to doing the things that I love doing. But this week hit a major milestone with we got rid of the brace. It may not sound like a lot, but those that have been through ACL reconstruction and meniscal repair, you'll know just how hard and tough mentally and physically the first 5 to 6 weeks are, and how big a milestone it actually is to remove that brace. So here's a look at what happened in week 5. Hey guys, Matt here. Welcome to week 5. It's been a really good week this week. Pain-wise, really good. Hitting those goals of getting the knee straight, really good. We've got to -2 degrees. We're aiming for around -5 by the end of 6 weeks. So that's on track. And then I was able to get rid of the brace, which was restricting me to 90 degrees flexion. So now we can start working towards that 120 degrees flexion by the end of 6 weeks, hopefully. It's all in preparation for getting back to walking and running. We want to get that knee straight, get the flexion there, get the swelling down, and then obviously getting the quad firing as well, so that when we do go back to walking and running and get rid of the crutches, hopefully at the end of next week, all those muscles are stimulated and ready to go, and that range of motion's there. So yeah, it's been a really positive week this week. Also got the electronic muscle stimulator, so that's been really good. It's quite challenging to use. You've got to basically, when I'm doing my exercises, leg raises and all that sort of stuff, squeezing the quad, as it ramps up, it'll start stimulating the muscles, and you've got to try and squeeze your muscles and beat it to get them firing. But it's definitely working. My quad feels really good. The other thing we're doing, hamstring strengthening or hamstring activation type exercises as well. Because I've been non-weight bearing for so long, none of those muscles have been working. So just trying to get them fired up in preparation for getting rid of the crutches, hopefully at the end of next week. As far as that's going, everything's tracking well. I thought what I'd do is just, in this episode, because everything's quite slow at the moment, I'm still just doing little bits of training here and there and nothing really exciting. I thought I'd just go back and recap the last 5 weeks for those people that, like, these vlogs are more around training and exercise and getting back to that, and hopefully with that ultimate goal of completing the Ironman in 12 months. But for the people that are watching that are going through their own ACL rehab, and particularly ACL with the meniscus repair, I thought I'd just go back and talk a little bit more about that side of things, so people that are going through their own journey can maybe find it helpful. If I go back to week 1 and 2, came out of hospital, there was a bit of pain there. It wasn't too bad. It was more at night time that I noticed that, when you had nothing occupying your mind, that's when I started to notice it more. Mind you, for the first week and a half, I was on pretty opioid pain medication. But I'd save that and just take that at night time mainly, just to try and help me sleep. But yeah, that first week, you're on the pain meds, you're not I wasn't sleeping very well. One, from the pain side of things, but also from the brace. The plastic brace wasn't comfortable to sleep in either, so I slept in the spare bed by myself. And then, so that's quite tricky mentally, because you're tired, fatigued, but then you're also just laying on the couch. And that's what it was. It was literally laying on the couch, my leg elevated all day, every day. Get out of bed, go downstairs, lay on the couch. And icing every couple of hours, pain meds every sort of 6 hours, I suppose. And that's the reality of week 1. So if you're going through that, don't worry, it does pass, but I know how you feel when it is extremely tough. About halfway through week 2, that's when the pain subsided. I didn't really need any pain relief after that, but I was quite tired, quite sick of sitting on the couch. The crutches as well can wear you down. So if you're just having ACL, there's a fair chance you'll just be load bearing, weight bearing straight out of hospital. When you're on the meniscus, it's 6 weeks of crutches, which, when you got a young family, when you're used to being active, it is quite challenging. So at the end of week 2, I just would go not very far, but I'd go for a little walk across the road to the coffee shop, elevate my leg over there, and I'd sit over there for a couple of hours just to get out of the house. That's how I sort of dealt with it mentally. By week 3, I went to the physio. I got some extra exercises to do, so that gave me stuff to focus on, the leg raises, bringing my heel towards my bum, trying to get that flexion going again. And it gave me something to sort of work towards, even though it was very minute. It gave me something I could work towards each day. Week 3 was still quite challenging. Again, laid up, ice, that sort of stuff. 4 was when things started to get better. I felt like my knee was freeing up a lot more. I felt like the swelling was finally starting to reduce. I know this is not recommended and everyone else's journey is totally different, but that's when I started going back to the gym for an hour a day. That was it. I know the vlogs look like I might have been in there all day, every day, but I wasn't. I would literally just go to the gym for an hour, do maybe 30 minutes of moving, not anything crazy, nothing to jeopardize my knee, but just to get out of the house and to go and see some people. And just, I felt the mental health relief side of things was worth not risking my knee, but going slightly outside what the doctor and the physio would probably recommend that you do. So whether you decide to do that on your journey or not, it's totally up to you. But I found it a huge relief just every couple of days, go in there, just move my body, whether it be that seated ski erg or whatever. So that was sort of week 4. Now I've continued that on through week 5, and the brace is off, which is awesome. Starting to come out of that, and I'm sure there'll be more ups and downs when I go back to trying to run and things like that. But at the moment, week 5, I feel like I'm sort of out of the toughest part of it and things are starting to feel good again. But yeah, I guess it's just that isolation from people, having to sit on the couch all day, especially if you're used to being an active person, which most people that do an ACL probably are. And the crutches, I just find such a drag just for everything. You get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, you need to get the crutches. You want to go and you can't do anything around the house. You can't pick anything up or carry anything because you're on the crutches the whole time. But yeah, that's just my journey so far. Got any questions about your journey, issues, or anything that you're curious about, just let me know. Thanks for following along again. Last bit of this, I'll just chuck a training session that I did this week at the end, and then look forward to next week. Hopefully I can get rid of the crutches at the end of next week. I don't know what after that. Hopefully get back in the pool or get back to some sort of bit more movement. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, guys. I know it's pretty slow, but if you are enjoying these, just let me know, because it's hard to stay motivated to keep producing them, especially at the moment when there's not a lot of interesting content. But thanks again. Cheers, guys.